bad budgeting. The pressures you bring must have a new district. Now. We must have a city status. Now, what is the point of having Fort Portal city, but the road to the city is in a bad situation? What planning is that? Even my people in Kabale now have been putting pressure on having Kabale city. But we have the road from Muhanga, Rwamchuchu, Kisizi, Kebsoni, Rubari, not worked on. Why can't we agree? Because a good road covers everybody. It covers the farmer, covers the political people, covers the students. The city may benefit some people, or a new district, some chairman and so on. So this is where we need to harmonize on the prioritization of plans. There could also be some corruption, which we are studying, especially for the Maram roads. I don't see why the Maram roads are not done. So that is another area we must ensure that there's no compromise now. The roads, tarmac roads must be maintained on time. Whatever, any sacrifice we need to do must be done. So the road, because they affect everybody. The Maram road is the same, must be maintained all the time in good motorable condition. That is number 5. Water for drinking. I'm glad that Biarhanga was talking about that one. That's number 6. Land grabbing. I'm glad somebody talked about it. I heard somebody talking about it. Land grabbing. We're also going to fight that. That is now C. Now D is irrigation. Biarhanga touched a bit on it. We have got our scientist, Dr. Muranga. She has got, I gave her land in Bushenyi, government land, and she has got a wonderful facility there. Let's see what she's doing there.
This is where our model plantation is. Plantation, which you've heard, we've already gone beyond 50 tons of yield per hectare per year. Matoke is very important part is water, but especially in the dry season. So here we are using irrigation, drip irrigation, as you can really see, using water, especially in the dry season. Drip irrigation, the advantage with it is that it sends water where it is required. PBD does not depend on national water. We make our own water, which we pump every day. 90% of the water is used for irrigation, and the other 10% is processed for use in pilot plant and estate residential areas. This swamp, as per NEMA allows us to use a third of the water flow. But in the dry season, we even just use 12%.
Now there you can see a number of things. First of all, that wonderful banana garden, where Dr. Muranga is producing 53 tons per hectare. The Banyankore nearby are producing only 5 tons per hectare. Muranga now is producing 10 times more than those Banyankore nearby. Why? Because she's irrigating and she's using fertilizers. So therefore, irrigation is very crucial. You can see the weather is not reliable. This is supposed to be a wet season, but the rain is coming, going. It's very risky. We need to shift to irrigation. In this coming Sunday, you will see we are going to do a lot of work to do irrigation. Now, finally, E Here I want to talk about the youth, our youth. There are very bad people in newspapers like The Monitor, of course from international, who give messages to our young people which need to be helped. They try to make our young people only concentrate on pleasure, ebinyumo, chi. Now, I want to inform you that the one who is standing here is a former younger person. And I will show you my picture when I was a young person, if they can show it for me. No, not that one. That one will come later. That picture there, it's a newspaper of 1968. That is my picture there. I was 23 years old or something. So if you are looking for a young person, there's one there. So people don't say, young person. Yes, you are talking to a former younger person. This was now 1968. And we had come back from Mozambique. We had gone as a student delegation to Mozambique to support the Mozambican struggle against colonialism. See, we were young. And we liked, once in a while, we would go to Ebinyumo to dance, to so on and so forth. Because, you know, I'm also a rapper. The other day I was rapping. But at the same time, we had to struggle for our people. Because that time, the whole of Mozambique was under colonial rule. The whole of Angola was under colonial rule. Zimbabwe, South Africa itself, Namibia. So, if we had just concentrated on pleasure, which is what some of these people push our young people towards, where would we be? If you go to South Africa now, I hear there are 1 million Ugandans in South Africa. When did they go to South Africa? After we, the young devotees, had liberated it with Mandela. That's when they go there to enjoy and plan bad things from South Africa. These opposition groups. They don't struggle, they just want to go and enjoy, but also spoil. So therefore, the young people, please, young is biology, but you need ideology. We are young here. And we were together with Mwalimu, who was older than us. Mwalimu was like in his almost 50s that time. We were with Mandela. Young, but working with elders who had the same ideas as ours. There were other young people, even in the university. The same university, we had young people who had different ideas. For instance, I remember we had some little clash with my brother Ogora the judge. He was on the other side. He was always, they had organized something which we didn't agree with. We had to have a showdown. So, you are young, but where do you stand ideologically for Africa? Because we are saying, number one, love Uganda. Other people say, no, don't love Uganda, love your tribe. Where do you stand? You young man, young woman. We are saying, love Africa, because you need it. What do you say yourself? Are we right? Are we wrong? I'm young. You are young. Where would you be if you don't have a country? And so on. Now, but I'm also lucky because I have all the generations. Mom and myself, they say they are following European things, that we are boomers. There was a generation in Europe called boomers, the ones who were born during the Second World War or after, and then other groups. But there are other groups, like my children, are Generation X, apparently. The Moses, the what? Then the millennials. You have heard of all those groups? Millennials, the ones who turned 18 in 2000. Then the Gen Z, Generation Z. Now we have Generation Alpha now, the young ones. So please, especially Mama, the one of education, we need to help our children know how to be ready to protect this country. Because we are talking of defending the gains and taking a qualitative leap. But it must be done by the young people who must know what they are doing. Fortunately, I have all these groups. I have the Generation X in my house, in my nuclear group. I have the Gen Z. You show them my Gen Zs now. This is where I spend time with my Gen Z now. Those are my grandchildren. In the cows. Why should I have a Gen Z who doesn't know about cows? Cows is what kept our people. The bananas, the crops. So please, our young people should not be misled by, I think these are, if you read the articles in the Monitor, that Monitor is an enemy paper. Their job is to soften Africa. Of course, you remember they were promoting homosexuality. You remember? Those groups. So they want to destroy Africa culturally by rendering our children to be disoriented. Yes, I am a footballer. In fact, you have got a real problem with me. Because me, I am a footballer. I like football. I used to play football, but I had to forget about it and sort out Idi Amin and so on. I am a rapper. If you want me to swing you in walls, dance, swing you around and toss you around, I can toss you. But I am also a worker. We must have young people who work, who create wealth. Yes, they can have pleasure, but pleasure must be with or after work. So with these few words, it's now my pleasure to do what? I launched the manifesto now.